Hey, how's it going, guys? Stabilize here. I just got home and I wanted to make a video about this big news. Have you heard? Have you heard the news? Bells are ringing. Children are singing. That's quite literally what is happening. This is a product for children. The Switch Lite has been announced. Finally, after all these rumors, all the whisperings in the willows, that's been going on for I don't know how long now. A long time it feels like. But they finally announced it's actually going to happen in the fall of this year. So, what does it look like? Do I like the look of it? Do I hate the look of it? What's this gonna mean for the future of Switch? Well, let's dive in and find out. So, first things first, Koizumi's looking great as always. I just gotta say, he always looks killer. I love this man's style, this man's presence on screen. Beautiful. Anyway, the system itself. I find it extremely awkward. And if I'm the only one, definitely let me know. But it is extremely awkward how they chose to reveal this thing. They started off and they were like, here's all the great things the Switch can do. You can play it on the TV, you can use it in handheld mode with a buddy, pass him a Joy-Con, throw the kickstand up, play it in tabletop mode. And now introducing the Switch Lite. It can't do any of those things that I just said that you all love. Like, I don't know. There was something about that was like a disconnect to me. I was like, why did they describe all the things it can't do before they even announced what it was? Anyway, I thought that was a little bit weird, but we can move past that pretty quickly. Actually, no, we can't, because then immediately he says it's dedicated to handheld play and that it's meant to be easy to carry with you when you go. And I'm like, isn't that already the Switch? Are you admitting that the Switch is a bad design and it's not easy to carry around? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Just something about the initial reveal of the system just felt very disconnected. It was like telling us all the things that it can't do and then being like, it only does handheld, but it's moderately better at that than the Switch is. Also, just to fit this in, am I the only one who wanted a bigger Switch? Like, everyone was talking about a Switch Mini for so long, and I was like, why? It's already too small. Like, I play my Switch in handheld mode, and I'm curled over it like a goblin, just trying to see the screen, like, read the text boxes and stuff. I don't know. There's just something about playing in handheld mode where I'm like, I wish this was a little bit bigger. And maybe it's the bezel. The bezel on the screen in handheld mode is just so fat for some reason, and I wish the screen just extended to the edges a little bit more. That would be enough to satisfy me, honestly. If that black bezel around the screen was gone and it was just, that's how big the screen was. I know that's not really possible, but if that was the case, I think the Switch would be a perfect size. But as it stands, I kind of want a bigger one. I don't want a smaller one. I do understand that this is meant for smaller people, small children primarily. So it does make sense that they are going smaller with it. But that Switch Pro rumor that was also floating around, I would really like for that one to be true. Because that must have a bigger screen on it, higher power. Like, yeah, that's what I'm interested in. Wait till that gets revealed, because then you'll have my money. Yeah, this is definitely not aimed for me. It is, however, aimed at children who are probably going to want to play Pokemon and Animal Crossing this year, but don't want to drop 400 Canadian dollars on a Switch console brand new. So the price cut is definitely worth it for children. And you can tell by the design too that this is definitely aimed towards children. It's got that sort of soft plastic look to it that, I don't know, it gives me like Fisher-Price vibes, which I'm not a fan of at all. Kind of like the 2DS. You know, the 2DS had that look to it. It was more toy-like than the 3DS or the 3DS XL. It's the same thing here. The Switch looks like a piece of technology, and this looks like a toy. But the colors in general are nice. I do like the turquoise and the yellow. I think they're good shades for this kind of a product. Like, I don't think I personally would get them just because, like I said, it kind of looks like too much like a toy for me. Holding one of these, it would be like, yeah, learning your ABCs over there, buddy. Like, I don't know. That's just me. What do you know? Not my kind of product sitting here. But that D-pad, man, it actually looks pretty nice. Nintendo is the original king of the D-pad, and that looks like a good one. So playing a nice indie game like Celeste or Shovel Knight on that thing, that'll be just a lot of fun. And then, and then we go into the ad. The ad that shows all the happy people with their happy systems, playing happy games, and having the best time of their lives. Who are these people? Hey, Jimmy, you want to go to the skate park? Yeah, sure, I'd love to. Let's go to the skate park and not skate. Let's just play Mario Kart at the skate park. Okay, well, let's go to the gym. Let's go rock climbing. Yeah, I'd love to rock climb in Breath of the Wild at the rock climbing gym. Or what really got me was the guy in space. They're like, you can play Mario Odyssey in space now. Okay, first of all, that's ridiculous. And second of all, you already could. The Switch is already a handheld. What is this ad supposed to be showing us? I don't understand any of this. This is the same thing you can do with the Switch, but less. At least with the other ad for the original Switch, it was like, wow, we're having a rooftop party. I can just whip out my Switch and pass the Joy-Con off, and suddenly we're all having a good time. But with this one, it's like, this is the equivalent of whipping out your Game Boy. Like, you go to this place to have fun with your friends and skate or rock climb or do whatever, and you just whip out your Game Boy. This is a 1DS. They made the 3DS, and they made the 2DS, and now this is the 1DS. It's come full circle, everybody. So we come back to Koizumi and he's like, yep, here's all the things it can't do. Again, see this big TV? Yep, can't use that with this thing. Sorry. And it did confirm that HD Rumble is gone and the IR camera is gone, which I find a little bit weird. I mean, it makes sense from a price cut standpoint, but in terms of like, what about the Toy-Con, you know? The Labo kits use the IR camera, they use HD Rumble, so the two products being the Switch Lite and Nintendo Labo that are essentially targeted towards children, they aren't compatible. You need to go out and buy a pair of Joy-Con if you want to play Labo on your Switch Lite. And even then, some of them are just designed around the Switch itself, like sliding it into the piano or doing whatever, right? So it feels a little sloppy. That's what I'll say about this entire thing, is that it feels like it wasn't fully thought out. And that's what scares me a little bit. They're just really trying to get into that market as fast as they can. And maybe it's just because they designed themselves into a corner with the original Switch. With the way the Joy-Cons slide off, you can't really make a revision to the console because it inherently makes everything else obsolete to change anything about it. So this is their attempt to get in between that line of, oh, we're not really changing the Switch because we're kind of just making a completely new one by committing to the idea that it's not going to be compatible. But it just feels messy. And the way he explains, like, oh, you'll have to check your games, look on the back to see if they're compatible before you buy them. Like, I can see the lines and lines of moms at Walmart already on December 28th, you know, with their copies of 1-2 Switch and Super Mario Party. And they gotta take them back because they got a Switch Lite. I keep wanting to call it the Switch Mini, first of all. That's really funny. But they bought their kid a Switch Lite, they bought the Mario Party, and, oh, what do you know, can't play that game. It feels a little, and you guys are gonna hate me for saying this, but it feels eerily like Wii U era ideas are coming out. Like the fact they made the Wii U and everyone was just confused about what worked with it and what didn't, and they thought, you know, it was an add-on to the Wii, it was just a tablet, and just all these weird marketing decisions that made everyone confused and no one understood what they were buying or what they could use with what. It feels like we're heading towards that market with the Switch, especially if a Pro model does come out and they make exclusive games like they did with the 3DS, the new 3DS. New 3DS had like Xenoblade Chronicles. You had to have a new 3DS in order to play that game, right? So imagine we have the Switch Lite, and the Switch Pro. And there's certain games you can't play on the Switch Lite because you need Joy-Cons or HD Rumble or the IR camera or whatever. You just can't play them if you don't have regular Joy-Cons. And then we have Switch Pro games, which you can't play on the Switch Lite or the Switch because you need the extra processing power, yada, yada, yada. It's just going to be a nightmare so quickly. And everyone's going to be confused. Yeah, I don't know. That's just the main reason this is concerning me a little bit, because it seems like a lot of this wasn't fully thought out. It's a Mario Maker 2 situation. A lot of people feel like that game was just kind of half-baked. They didn't make all the items compatible in all the styles, and it's just a very by the numbers sort of let's get this out there and make the money. Without any heart of the original or, you know, the uniqueness it had, the spirit, it's just kind of paint by numbers, let's make a second one. It doesn't matter if all the items don't work anymore, just get it out. Overall though, lower price is always a good thing. This helps people that can't afford the regular Switch get in on the action, which I'm all for. Don't get me wrong, I understand the business decision, I understand the price cut, it makes sense, I know why it's happening, but it makes me a little bit scared for some future Nintendo decisions. So, if you guys feel the same, definitely let me know in the comments. I want to know what people think about this. It's one of those things that it's hard to say right now, but the Switch Lite is probably going to be really successful. Everyone laughed at the 2DS when it got revealed, and then it sold like nobody's business. So that's probably what's going to happen again. The hardcore crowd is not into this at all, but that casual market, that's Nintendo's cash cow. So let me know in the comments what you think of the Switch Lite if you're going to be picking one up, and let me know what your favorite color is. Are you into that turquoise, the yellow, or are you into that sleek gray? It's not a great gray, I'm going to be honest. Yellow or turquoise is definitely the way to go if you're picking one of these things up. But let me know what you think, guys. Always good to hear from you. Check me out on Twitter, StabilizeYT. I'll be posting updates there in the future, and I am working on more scripted stuff. I promise you I am. And tune in for some more live streams in the future as well. Also, let me know what you thought of this type of video. I could definitely do more of these in the future. Hopefully I'll get better at doing them. It was just sort of me talking for God knows how long. Way too long, I guess. But if you like this sort of video, definitely let me know. I'd love to get more content out there on this channel, and this is a great way for me to do that. So, in the comments, give me that Switch color, give me that feedback on this video, and give me that like, comment, subscribe, baby. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Good to talk to you. I'm being sucked away. Bye!